Now to the latest twist in a story that, as we said at the top of the broadcast, started as simply an embarrassment, but is now raising more serious questions about security for President Obama and the other world leaders who came to South Africa for the Mandela Memorial. As we were making our way back home from there, the sign language interpreter, who was called out as a fake, revealed news about himself and what he claimed was a history of serious mental illness.
While I was working, I had a breakdown when I see angels come from sky. And from that time, you must ask yourself of your safety and your security and safety of other people that are around you.
So were Mr. Obama and others at risk? It's hard to know. Photos prove Mr. Janje had often worked at prestigious events here. On Tuesday, the only hostility on show was the booing aimed at South Africa's president.
The scandal raises questions about how he managed to gain access to a supposedly secure event watched by millions around the world. South African authorities say they've launched an investigation.
One expert, who's deaf, told us through an interpreter that Janje didn't even know the sign for the name Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela.
This is the sign for Mandela because of the fact that he used to comb his hair in a side part.
Janje insists that he's interpreted several high-profile events before, including this one alongside President Zuma.
But if I've offended anyone, please forgive me.
And the South African government now saying this morning it did not hire the interpreter. Instead, the government says it paid the company he works for. Owners of that company have now disappeared.
But it's now emerged that Janje's competence had been called into question even before he rubbed shoulders with world leaders in Soweto. South Africa's Translators Institute complained after he signed at a number of the ruling ANC's party events, raising serious questions about how he went on to secure the biggest event of all.
Did a mistake happen? Yes. He became overwhelmed. He did not use the normal signs. We accept all that. A mistake happened. He was not able to translate from English to Xhosa, then to sign language.
Overwhelmed by the occasion, genuinely ill, or a fraud. Deaf people who were left baffled at the memorial are demanding answers, but they're struggling to get them from the owners of SA Interpreters, the firm which employed Mr. Janje. They're reported to have disappeared.
In the deaf community, there was an outrage in the community. The emails that we received, the SMSs, the BBM on Twitter, and they were angry.
The government has promised an investigation, but the damage is done. An occasion watched by millions, remembered in part for all the wrong reasons, and a national debate about just who's to blame.